Hello, I'm Robin Vincent and welcome to Molten Music Technology. Today I'm going to offer you up a quick start guide to happiness with the Behringer RD-8. You've just got this awesome drum machine, you've got it out of the box. What the heck do you do now? Because there are a few little things to overcome, and hopefully I can show you exactly what they are, get you making your first pattern and having a wonderful time. The RD-8 out of the box then comes to us like this. Ooh, and the first thing you want to do is make a sound. So you've got a trigger button here. So you press that, nothing happens. So you go, okay, so there's no level. Level, right. So all of the knobs come out of the box, all turn fully to the left. Every single one. So you want to turn the master up, and you want to turn the level up on all of the instrument sounds. It has a little orange indicator, which I guess suggests where the level should be, but you're going to want to turn them all the way up, aren't you? And maybe a little bit down on the hi-hat. That seems like sensible. Then turn all the tuning knobs up. Tone knobs, just set them all to about somewhere in the middle. Then hit your trigger. Then hit your trigger button. No, still no sound. Well, that's because the first instrument, the first sound that's selected is accent, which isn't a sound. It's not a sound. Accent boosts the volume on a step that you set it to. So let's try the kick drum. Now we're talking. Great. Bass drum, kick drum, let's make a pattern. So we have our pattern steps thing here, 16 steps. No, that's not working. Okay, well let's set it running. No, it's not running, just got this little flashing light here. Okay, so we're in song mode. Let's try pattern mode. Pattern mode. No, that doesn't turn on lights either. And again, there's nothing going on. Right, okay, not pattern mode then. Well, let's try step mode. Hey, step mode, look, you've got white lights going on. Okay, here we go. No, we don't. Right. So, okay, what's happening here is that in order for steps to stay, you have to have it in record. Put it in record. And then they stay. Now, if you take it out of record and just leave it in play, you can take things out temporarily, but they'll always come back. If you want to remove a step, you have to have it in record. So for adding and removing notes, it must be in record. Great, let's put a snare in. Close hi-hat, open hi-hat. Great, let's add a clap. Now if you want, you can put stuff in using the trigger button, provided you're in record. If you have it out of record, you can just play along. But it's better than that. You can use note repeat, which then repeats the selected drum sound. Now if you have this in record, it doesn't record anything once you've got note repeat on. The other thing you can do is step repeat. It repeats either 1 step, 2 steps, 4 steps, or 8 steps. So it's wherever it is, it's here. The next thing you want to do is mute and solo stuff. So select mute, everything flashes that isn't selected. So I want to mute out the snare and kick, I just hit it and they then stay lit. Deselect to let it go again. Solo is similar. Now here's a good tip, which is that if you've soloed stuff and then go into mute, you can't mute it out because it's soloed. So solo overrides the mute. So if you're kind of confused as to what's going on, come out of both and you'll see that if these are lit, it means that some things are muted or soloed. So go back into solo. See, now mute is working, that I've taken the solo off. Go back into mute. There, you see, does that make sense? The other thing is accent. So if you select accent, you can now boost a couple of bits. So if you've created your pattern and you're starting to get a little bit into it, of course the next thing you want to use is the filter. Now, one very important point to make before we talk about the effects section is that if you are listening on headphones, you are not going to hear it because the headphones socket output of the back here bypasses the effects section. It's before the effects section. So if you're listening on headphones, you're just not going to hear it. I have no idea why they did that. They say it's something to do with monitoring so that you can monitor the sound before the effects, I guess. But it destroys the use of this for just sitting around with a pair of headphones on and having a bit of fun. You can't listen to the filter or the wave designer. It only comes out of the main output. So if, like me, you got your RD-8, you stuck it on the floor, you stuck some headphones in and started playing with it, you are going to spend an hour trying to work out why you can't hear this. You're going to go through all the settings, you're going to mess stuff about, and it's going to frustrate you because it just doesn't work. Headphones, no filter, no wave designer. So set it going, turn your filter on, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. Nothing. The reason why nothing happens is because the filter is attached to the wave designer. These things act together, and in order to get the filter to work on stuff, you have to send it to the wave designer. How do we do that? Well, you press send, and it's exactly the same as mute and solo. You select the tracks that you want to be going there. Now, the wave designer acts upon the stuff that's going through it. You get a signal light, which is extraordinarily helpful. But if you want to bypass the wave designer, which is either sort of smoothing things down or boosting things in a lovely way, stick it at 12 o'clock, and that's essentially bypass. So now whatever it is that's gone here, that I've selected and sent here, I can now filter. Or high pass. So this is kind of good and bad because it means that I can choose what it is I want to filter. So let's take the bass and snare out of this. So I'm just now filtering the hi-hats. But I'm probably going to want the bass and snare to be involved in the wave designer to give them a bit of boom. And maybe not the hi-hat so much. But then if I do that, I can't then filter the hi-hats. Do you see what I mean? So in order to use the filter, it has to go to the wave designer. So if you want to use the wave designer on just a couple of things, you then can't filter everything else. You can't use the filter separately from the wave designer. So there you go. You are now ready to rock. One more thing, if you turn it off and turn it on again, your pattern is gone. It's all gone. It's all erased and you have to start again. If you want to learn how to save patterns, then go and read the manual, because I don't know. So yeah, it's a whole bundle of fun. And I hope that my little guide has just pushed you down the road to getting started. And in the meantime, go make some beats.